Yep, I think I'm ready. I've just got my bags here. I am off to America, to New York, StonyBrook University. The actor Alan Alda, he has a centre called the Centre for Communicating Science. And myself and Oliver Centre, who's an actor and director, who's one of our Living Words artists, the two of us are off to the Applied Improvisation Network conference. People from around the world who are using applied improvisational techniques in their work for social change. And we're off to share the Living Words practice, which is really exciting. And we're doing that with the East Side Institute, which is based in New York, which is a arts and philosophy organisation that has been going since the 60s. And their mission is to work with the poor. We all heard with Obama, he talked a lot about community organisers, and they are an organisation of community organisers. And they are doctors, philosophers, artists, and a really great variety of people. I think I've got all my bags ready here, and I'm off to meet Oliver. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're just going to go to Gatwick. Oliver and I arrived safely last night here in New York. There was a terrific thunderstorm, and that seems to have cleared. This morning we've been at a workshop at the All Stars Theatre, which is part of the East Side Institute, and beginning to get a look at the sort of people who are going to be at this conference, which is really exciting. A complete mix of engineers, artists, doctors, scientists. So really excited to get up there. We're going up to Union Square to get the train. Speak to you in a bit. Stay in dorms like being students again. And this is Lilith, who's one of my lovely dorm mates. Would you like to just introduce yourself and tell people a bit about what you do?
I'm Lilith Zarling. I'm an improv performer from Richmond, Virginia, and I also use improv to help in volunteer work with trans people and people of color to get into comedy and kind of find their voice.
How long have you been doing that for?
I've been performing for 16 years. I've been doing more of the volunteer work for the last 4 or 5.
Oh, that's nice, because actually we haven't really spoken about what we do, have we? We've sort of just been, roomies, hanging out.
We've just been eating lunches and comparing notes.
Yeah, and me nicking your phone charger, which I left on the plane.
It's okay, anytime.
Well, it's been really lovely meeting you, and I look forward to the day. What are you looking forward to today?
Today, I've just got a bunch of workshops already picked out, and so a lot of stuff about working with young people and stuff like that, and I'm really excited about learning more about the skills I already have, but how to use them in ways I want to.
That was Lilith Zarling from Richmond, Virginia. Lilith received one of the new diversity scholarships that the AIN network gave out for people to attend the conference, because they're really focusing on increasing the reach of this work. I'm just at the breakfast on the second day at the Applied Improvisation Network at Alan Alda, the actor Alan Alda Centre for Communicating Science in StonyBrook, upstate New York. And I'm just at the breakfast. I'm just sort of walking in now, looking for the people that I know. We're just going to say a quick hello to Marion Reach, who's one of the main organisers here. Marion,
yes,
hello, it's Susanna here. I'm doing a recording for the BBC, just telling them about the conference.
Okay.
I wonder if you wanted to just say a few words.
Sure.
How are you finding the conference so far? I know you've worked really hard on getting the programme organised.
Yes, well, I think the thing I'm impressed by is the growth of the movement internationally, which I'm part of a subgrouping that would refer to this as the performance activism movement. And we are changing the world through play,
yes,
performance, and improvisation. And there is hope to anybody listening to this broadcast. Please be hopeful. We are going to change the world.
Here's Susan. Susan, I'm just doing a recording for BBC Radio.
Oh.
I wonder if you could just say how you're finding the conference so far.
Well, the conference is lively. It's very stimulating, and it's very interesting that improv is being extended to so many fields. This is what applied improv is, but how people think about it and are taking it to some very interesting places.
And we're doing our workshop, Oliver, me, you and Mary shortly. So I think I'll be recording a bit in there. How are you feeling about that?
Well, I am very excited to do it with my new partners, our new partners from Great Britain. And it's a workshop that we've done in other places, but the audience is always new, so I'm very excited about it.
They were Marion Rich, who is an amazing improviser, consultant, coach and comic educator who works tackling difficult situations at the East Side Institute for people who attend, and Dr. Susan Massad, who has been doing work around changing the tragedy narrative of dementia.
Oliver Centre.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing really, really well. Really looking forward to the session this morning. There's been lots of really stimulating stuff going on, and I'm really certain that the people who come along are going to love it today.
Right, let's go get ready, dude.
We are just in the Living Words workshop now, and people are at the point of reading their words back to each other. Words that have just come from two people sitting together and connecting. There's a lot of emotion in the room.
Lydia, don't feel under any pressure, but anything that you'd like to say from your experience of the Living Words workshop?
Through my own personal experience with my mother, the journey that she has been on, and now being in this classroom, I've always felt that dementia or Alzheimer's, it's a part of life. And in this workshop, I really feel now that we need to honor that even more so. And here is a way, I feel, to honor people with dementia and to give them space for their words, for their thoughts, for their feelings.
Yeah, so I came to the workshop really because of you and meeting you yesterday, and it sounded interesting. But coming here, I've realized that the dementia community is one that I've been very fearful of, because it's such a deep unknown and it's scary. It's I see my own potential mortality and everything attached to it, and you've opened up such a new awareness of it for me, and you've humanized it, and you've created a way that I could be a part of that.
Being heard, having one's thoughts and feelings captured by someone who's really attentive is a way of valuing a life that is rare. The clarity that would help us to be understood.
The people we heard from at the end of the workshop there were Julia Pitt, who's an improviser from Bermuda, Mark Power, who for many years was a hospice chaplain and now is a business coach using improvisation in his practice, and Lydia Franco Hodges, who is one of the main facilitators at the Alan Alda Institute for Communicating Science. So they go out into the world, both communicating science for scientists and also working with scientists to enable them to communicate the work that they're doing better. So Oliver and I have just sat down for a little debrief after the workshop. How do you feel that went, Oliver?
I think the session went brilliantly. We had a really good size of group. They all responded to each other and got a lot out of it. The impact is so intense on these sessions, and they really felt it.
It's always, the saying goes, doesn't it, whenever you do anything like this, the people who come are the right people, and it did feel like that.
No, it really did, absolutely. We had a great range of people, from a chap who doesn't know anything about improv, who's now a chaplain, and another guy who was a mechanical engineer by trade, and all kinds of other stuff. People who had personal connections, people who didn't. So it's a really good cross-section, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we had a few different countries in the room, which was also good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'd just like to thank the BBC for listening to our story at the AIN, and we're really looking to work out how we can sustain this work, share it, get it out in the world more. So get in touch. Dominic's got our contacts if you want to contact us.
Just help us in any way you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just back in the UK now. I'm just in my flat for half an hour before I have a quick turnaround and go to work. The last few days has been really tremendous for us. before we went, we didn't have the money to go, and we had to take part in asking people for support. We had fundraising events, and there were times when I thought, is this going to be worth it? And it was so worth going. We have met so many incredible people and artists, from scientists from around the world, who are doing tremendous work. And watching the applied arts in practice, hearing about people's work that's taking place. We were talking with, the East Side Institute have a community organisation in Paso, and while we were at the conference, they were talking with the community organisers there who were doing arts work with people in that community who were completely affected. They were arranging a get-together on both sides of the border for this Sunday, for everyone to come together and have a big picnic. There are people who are working with the UN at the White House, really making changes with people who are the policy and decision makers. There is hope there, and that's really what I'm feeling at the moment. I feel a bit emotional that there are so many of us around the world just moving forward and coming together and using the arts for change. And I just want people to, it doesn't water down the arts. The arts don't change the world. Arts work changes people, and people change the world. And I'm looking forward to telling you more about what the outcomes of this conference will do for us as Living Words. So thank you to everyone listening. Thank you for Dominic for the opportunity for us sharing this conference. As you can tell, I haven't slept at all, and I'm going straight to work now, because that's what we do, right?